Now, where families who lost members and relatives are expected to meet with the team investigating the crash. Today, they'll also start the process of identifying the bodies of the 17 victims. The crash happened when a 22-seater bus collided with an SUV near Nqobile. The victims were burnt beyond recognition as the vehicles caught fire after the collision. eNCA's Nqobile Madlala is following that story and joins us for the very latest in this tragic car accident. Nqobile, thanks for your time this evening. Do we know the circumstances under which this accident happened? What has been explained to you in terms of the very latest in this regard?
Well, Rafiwa, I'm first just going to show you the family, because this is quite a very sad moment for the families. So most of them coming to terms with the fact that some of their family members have passed on. It's very difficult. You can see most of them very, very emotional. They've gone through the scene. They've asked some questions in terms of where it happened, how it happened. Very, very emotional indeed. We do know that 17 people lost their lives on this road. This is from the N1, of course, and this was a head-on collision from our understanding. And of course, the police have come in, as well as the traffic cop, as well as to cops, to also just show the family and speak to them. We know that they started from the hospital, but I just want to bring in now the deputy director of the Limpopo traffic cop to sort of speak to us in terms of what has happened today. We know that you started from the hospital. What has occurred today?
Well, today we had both the MEC Transport and Community Safety and the MEC for Health in Limpopo province. They were able to meet with the family in Mokopane Hospital just to try to interact with them. And also we had a prayer session with them. And for now, we agreed that with the family we'll go on site and visit the site where the incident occurred.
And I mean, we understand this is exactly where the accident occurred. What really happened? Can you explain to us?
Well, when we establish facts on site, remember all the time we find that accident has happened. But we realize that in terms of the establishment of the incident, the two vehicles were traveling from opposite direction. The Kumbi, the Iveco, was traveling to north carrying passengers, and the Prado was coming from north to south. We understand that there's an allegation that there was a tire burst, and the vehicle coming from south encroached to the right of the roadway and head-on collision. Both vehicles caught fire, and on arrival on the scene, we found that already 11 people passed on. But when the process goes on, the number reached about 17.
And of course, the families have now seen the area, but what exactly are they doing here?
Well, we were made to understand during the prayer that some of the family members, they want to come and pay or play their rituals, beliefs. And some of them, they were praying here. They were saying they are taking the spirit of their loved ones back home. So as we speak, as you can hear, some of are crying. It's a very traumatic situation. As a result, it's so sad that at once we are able to lose such a huge number on our road.
And do we know the age, maybe roughly, in terms of what was the youngest or the oldest?
Well, because the situation was so bad, but from the establishment, we know that we only had 3 kids among those who passed on, and we are not quite sure about their age, because the condition of the bodies were not easily identifiable.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, Simon Kekana, they're speaking to us, Rafiwa. Very emotional scene indeed. You will see some of the ladies being comforted there by an SAPS official. Very difficult for them to come to terms with what is happening. We're hearing, of course, there from Simon Kekana explaining to us that they had some young people here as well. Of course, a lot more needs to be established. We know that they were finding out in terms of DNA who was there, and what had occurred. That's still being investigated, and a lot more is still going to happen. We know that the MECs were also part of that process that happened in hospital with the families, and of course we've seen some of the families praying, and we do believe that this is, like they're saying, their ritual to also pay their respect and also to lift that spirit as they believe and take it home with them.
Absolutely, Nqobile, and we can only hope that that identification process won't take too long so that the families can get the closure that they so desperately need after this tragic accident that's taken place there. We'll be catching up with Nqobile a little bit later with further developments around this story and the details of how the collision happened.